Starbucks today. And I didn't make any coffee. So I'm drinking lemonade. This is the second day of virtual school. So as you can see, the girls are sitting at the table. I didn't get a chance to fix up the desk and everything in the garage because my sister had all her stuff in the garage until this weekend, which did not give me a lot of time to do anything. So right now, they're just in the living room. What I want to do, because I bought these started plants over a week ago. It's probably been almost 2 weeks. And they were supposed to be in the ground by now. However, a lot of chaos happened, and then holidays and preparing for school. And I didn't get around to it. I actually have not been in my garden for a couple of days. And now let me tell you what happened. Let me tell y'all what happened, y'all. Listen. I forgot to start the plants in the back of my trunk. And they stayed in there for like 2 days. I'm not going to say I killed most of them. But they looked dead. So I had to come out here. I mean, when I say all of it looked dead, I didn't think I was going to get anything out of them. So I came out here and I started pulling off all the just completely dead leaves, like that was just not going to survive at all. And trying to see if maybe, just maybe, I didn't waste an entire $20. So I should have took a picture of it. I'm going to let y'all see how some of these look right now. By the grace of God, hallelujah, 2 weeks later, I still have something. But child, baby, listen, I didn't think I was going to get nothing out of these things. So here is what it looks like now. I think the collards are just totally gone. It's just not coming back. I don't know what happened here. But, yeah. So what I did was I basically put some water, and that rained last night, so now that's really full. But I basically put some water in the bottom of the tray that I had. Because when you get it in a tray, in this tray. And this tray has holes in it. So I was panicking because I kept pouring water in there, and I was like, why is it leaking out? And then I realized that tray has holes in it. So I found this one that I had in the garage, and I put it in this tray. Last year, I started some stuff from seed in my garage, and you know, the artificial lights are okay, but it's not like a greenhouse. And so what happened was a lot of my starts, they looked like they were dying, to be honest. I thought they were dying because they were very leggy, because there were some days I forgot to turn the light on. There were some days I left the light on all for like days, and unfortunately the leaves and stuff had started to turn and wither a little bit, and it dried out. I thought that nothing survived. Well, I brought them out anyway. I set them out on the harden off table, and they started to look like they were doing something, like the little teeny tiny leaves like you saw just there. So I put them in the ground in places that I had space. And most of them that was like that, actually, now that I think about it, was the lettuce, which is why I had an abundance of lettuce, because I literally thought all my lettuce had died. And I had that bed that the melons were in that was just empty. And so I took all of the lettuce that I thought was completely dead and put it in that bed. And when I say that bed took off, and I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook or anything, or Instagram, but I had to give away lettuce bouquets, which is why I don't have any pint jars. I don't have any pint jars because I gave away lettuce bouquets because I had too much lettuce. Me and the girls ate salads for like 2 or 3 days in a row, and we still had too much lettuce. And I ended up having to, like, I gave a lot of lettuce to the chickens and I composted some because we couldn't get rid of all of it. I said all this to say, now, had that not happened, I probably would have gave up on that whole tray because when I say it looked completely dead, I thought it was dead. I left it in the back of my truck in still summer for 2 days with no water, and it was brittle and everything was hung over, and I was like, oh my God, I lost the entire tray. And if it wasn't for that situation with the lettuce, I probably would have threw that tray out. However, I said, let me just take my time and go through and pick all the bad stuff out and see if I could save them. And so that's what I did. I picked up all the leaves that just were withered to the point where they weren't going to come off, or the ones that just fell off in my hand. I picked all of those off, and then I filled up that bottom tray with water, and I set it out here for 2 weeks. And I did that because, also remember, these were already outside. They didn't have to harden off. They were already outside. I got them from the nursery. They were outside at the nursery. So I didn't have any issues with sun scorching, except for maybe that kale. I don't know what happened with that kale. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in the ground because I feel like, I'll still get a harvest. Just from looking how it came back in those 2 weeks from being in the tray of water. And I made sure I kept that tray filled with, not filled, but water at the bottom of that tray. I may have overwatered. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure I brought them back. So I'm going to put them in the ground. That's what I'm going to do. And I will let y'all know. I'm going to go ahead and just plant that whole tray in this section. So it's going to be a bunch of mixed stuff over here. But I just want to show you guys that it will still take off. It will still produce a harvest. And don't give up, man. Just take your time. It gets frustrating sometimes. But let me go ahead and get this garden in, y'all. My mom always fusses at me because I come out here in the garden barefoot. But this is who I am, Mom. So yes, I don't wear shoes, but I will put on gloves. No, that's because I'm about to pull all this manure out this bag. So I used 2 25-quart bags of mushroom compost and 1 50-pound bag of Daddy Pete's cow manure. And that's just for this bed here. This is a 10 by 5, but part of it is still being used by the tomatoes. So I'm just going to maneuver around that trellis and mix all this up. I've already put coffee grounds that I got from Starbucks in like a month ago. So right now I'm just going to mix this up, and then I'm going to put these started plants in this first half of this 10 by 5. I did a square foot garden, and in the square foot you can fit the greens closer together. However, this year I wanted to kind of spread them apart just to see how big they would get. So they're about a foot apart, and I did like a zigzag type method with the kale. The bok choy is in like a little diamond because I wanted them to be more like 18 inches apart. Same with the broccoli. I wanted them to be 18 inches apart. I'm still waiting to see if I'm gonna get some tomatoes from this right here. They're growing, but I don't know if I'll get tomatoes before the frost. I mean, I have another month, but you know, probably another month and a half. The end of October. So maybe. The cucumbers, I just walked over there. This plant right here has one little baby cucumber on there. I don't know if it got pollinated or not, so we'll see. But like I said, we have possibly close to 60 days. No, not 60. Maybe 50 days till the first frost. It's starting to rain now. Still have not gotten this bed straightened out right here, which I need to, because that's where the beets and the carrots are supposed to go. So I'm going to put probably some mushroom compost. I don't want to put the manure there because carrots do not like compact soil, and manure is kind of compact and heavy. So I'm just going to probably put some mushroom compost and then get some potting soil. But other than that, it's starting to come down a little bit harder. It was drizzling a little bit when I first came out here. Now it's starting to really come down. So that's it for today. I still feel like I got something accomplished. It was really quick. And so until next time, thanks for watching. My daughter just came in and said that the chickens are out and they're eating my garden, and they sure are. Luckily, they didn't get to the new stuff. Or did they? They did.
They know they're bad because one ran back in there.
Get out my garden. Luckily, it's not a whole lot of stuff down for them to eat. They didn't touch my lettuce. Get. Oh, look at this. Well, thank you, little sunflower. That was something positive. But get. Oh, it's so muddy. I have no shoes on. Now she's stuck.
I don't know how y'all do this in the mud.
Look at this damage here. Look at this. Nobody's behind me, Kia. Look at this. And I was already having, you know, palpitations because I left them in the car. No, ma'am. I don't need it to be sprayed. It's water. The chickens just ate